Just like I started off as a young Turkish girl with a dream, Marsida Bandilli started off as a young Albanian girl with a dream. Now she's currently finishing her PhD in political science at the University of Antwerp, and she's an inspirational leader striving for achieving a fundamental change at local, national, and European levels. In 2014, she received the Active Citizens of Europe Award, and she was recognized as the Personality of the Year for the European Democratic Citizenship Awards. Let us all give a warm welcome to Marsida.
One, two, three, works. Can you hear me? All right, I just have the feeling I cannot hear myself. But first of all, I'd like to start by saying that I'm quite honored to be with you tonight, and I really hope that you get inspired by my speech, and the things that I will mention today are not new to you, rather I will say the things that you already know. So I have titled my speech, How to Be Successful in What You Do, 20 Tips for Your Own Success. Probably you might start thinking right now that for standing in front of you, I might be one of the most successful people in Europe, but it's not like that. Rather, I'm a very normal person that sometimes have a very hard time at staying motivated and focused at the things that I do at work or at home. I even have a very hard time at waking up in the morning, so I usually start my day with a big cup of coffee, and I put some music to put myself back on track. I'm quite sure that all of you have your own little tricks that keep you moving forward in the things that you do in life. How to be successful in what you do, that's a question that has been always constantly dragging my attention since I was very little. Because if success is something easily achievable, then the question would be, how can you master your skills and your competencies in such a way that you can achieve as much success as any other person does in the world? I want to set you up free from one illusion first. Success is not going to track you down, and it's not going to force itself upon you. So you have to make it work. And whatever opportunity that is going to be offered to you in life, you have to first of all learn about the subject matter, and second of all, you have to learn about yourself. So you have to deal with the good and the bad, the setbacks and the opportunities or the possibilities at the same time. I will give you a very concrete example. Myself, I was born and raised in Tirana, which is the capital of Albania, where I spent 25 years of my life. When I was a child, I had big dreams and a lot of imagination about what I wanted to do further on in life, but I also had very few opportunities. So in the beginning of the 90s, when the communist system collapsed in the country, there were not a lot of options about schooling and education. So I followed and I frequented very normal public schools. And if you'd asked me back then what I want to do with my life and what are my dreams, probably I would say that one day I want to turn my story into an inspirational one, but then I would ask myself, how am I going to do that? So it took me quite some time not to turn only my dreams into a reality, but also to inspire many other young people to keep believing in themselves and to keep working in the things that they want to do. But there is some tricks to that, and there is some tips to that, which I want to share it with you, which come from my experience. First of all, I really believe that everything has to start from your own confidence. So if you really want something, you have to believe in it and you have to work on it. You have to make it happen. You cannot just sit back and wait for somebody else to help you along. For sure, there's going to be people that will help you with the things that you want to do in life, but you have to be 100% sure that the things that you are doing are the things that you want with your life. And second of all, if we really start thinking about what being a successful person means, or what being a success in itself means, it doesn't have to do with the job or with the status itself. First of all, it starts with improving about how you feel about yourself. So there will be certain points during your lifetime that you will feel that this is not where you belong to, or that you don't fit, or that no matter how hard you are trying to achieve something, you're not accomplishing or you're not achieving what you want to achieve. If you ever feel that, I want you to know that this is a trap, and you can always change the way that you see things and your perspective. I will give you a concrete example. Personally, for me, one of the hardest decisions that I had to make was when I came all by myself in Belgium. So I got offered a scholarship opportunity to do my PhD studies in political science at the University of Antwerp, which was an opportunity that I grabbed with both hands, and I tried as much as I could to do the best out of it, and I'm still working on that. But I had a few difficulties that I had to face, which are mostly related to the fact that there's a different culture, there's a different country, and there were a lot of things that they were different. From the other side, I also thought that being Albanian by identity was a hurdle to my own integration, but in the course of time, then I was able to learn that being Albanian is as unique, as special as being something else. So then I decided that my own nationality does not represent any kind of constraints to the skills, the jobs, or the things that I do in my daily life. And even if you ask me right now, where do I come from? Most probably I'd say that I come from Europe, just because I love the continent that much. So I want you to know that whenever you feel trapped on something, you can change the perspective and the way that you think about the situation. My secret to success is work hard and you will be rewarded. Remember those times when you were in primary school? If you really studied hard on something, then you would get great grades. So the grown-up life is not so different from the life that you do when you are a child. Just that when you are a grown-up, you have to really define what your purpose of your job or what the purpose of your studies or project is. Because sometimes you can spend endless effort in an inefficient way and gain nothing, but if you really spend modest efforts efficiently, then you might be rewarded. So define what you really want to get out of your project or your job or your work, because your purpose should be to make progress, not only to expand yourself. So work not just hard, but also smart at the same time. But there's a lot of things that have to come from within, from who you are and the person that you are. And if I right now ask you, for example, what are some of the biggest problems, what would you say? Let me guess. Would you say that problems that we are facing nowadays in the world are poverty, lack of education, or climate change and global warming, and so on and so forth? And if I even ask you, or dare to ask you, can you please think about some creative solutions for some of these world's problems, then what would you think about that? I'm quite sure that you would give me thousands of different answers, and just because you are as creative as anybody else is. But creativity is a trait that, unlike other traits, it does not come in exchange for money or rewards, but it's something that you have to put your mind, and to make it work, you have to put your mind and your focus on something. This is how it works. But for sure, if you look at the situation from a different angle, and if you put a lot of imagination on that, you can help your own creativity to develop. Well, we were talking about success, and we think that it's this big thing that we want to achieve, but sometimes it's very nice to just take a step back and appreciate your small victories, because if the big goals or the big objectives of your life are like a big puzzle, you have to chop it down and work piece by piece. And rather than that, your role is just to put all the small pieces of the puzzle in the correct place. In doing so, in progressing from one phase to another in your life, you have to learn to appreciate and to value small victories and small accomplishments that you have. Rather, you should use these as a fuel for the next chapters in your life. If you ask me right now, what is my biggest accomplishment, probably I would say I don't have any, or I'm not even a successful person. I don't think I'm that. But I think that I have some small accomplishments in different fields. And what really cheers me up during my journey so far is the fact that whenever I face some obstacles or hurdles to my journey, and I'm able to surpass that, then I feel really that I've learned something and I've added something new. Well, you have to realize who you are and to love yourself. There are certain professions that require certain types of personality. So, for example, it is no fault to accept that some people, they are really capable of speaking in front of a large audience, where others people, they would just be petrified. It is also no fault to say that some people, for example, they can study math equations for months and they cannot understand anything, including myself here. So you should really start with knowing who you really are and what you love doing, what are your skills and your talents, and that's where you have to invest to, because these are your strongest assets, and that's the best advice that you could get. when I was 16, I didn't like math, for example, and I still don't like numbers, and I'm still struggling with numbers even nowadays. Well, probably this is the best piece of advice that you can give to your younger self, which is to calm down because you have time. So I want you to know that no matter what your journey is and no matter where you want to reach to, you have to think about the fact that you still have time. Because success will reach you one day, and at the moment when you will be successful, it's not that you're going to reject success because it's not the right age. So you just have to chill down and keep working and keep doing the best thing that you do. And if you really think about that, do you really think that you sell your job or do you sell the perception of your job? This is how the world actually works. And what do you want to do with yourself or with your future? Do you want to be on top of your class, on top of your company, on top of everything? Because if the final destination of what you want to accomplish is being on top, there's going to be always somebody else that is on top of something else, and you always have to compete with that or to deal with that. So for me, my piece of advice would be just to be yourself and to give the best that you can give out of yourself. That's the best that you can do. That's your job. Do you think that being a successful person is really about finishing your studies or getting a job promotion or getting a better salary? Because I most commonly think that being successful, it means that you have to put all your feelings on something. You have to invest your time, your energy, your passion, your values, and in something that you are passionate about. Just if you invest on that, then probably you will be successful and you would have results on that. Be the change. I for sure think that you can be the change, and you can, as Alfonso mentioned before, you can bring a positive change, and for sure you can change your life, and you also have the power to change the lives of thousands of other people around the world. But change doesn't happen like that with the click of a single button. Change, it takes time, and you have to be patient with yourself and believe in yourself that change will come. For example, if you would ask me 10 years ago, when I was 18 years old, if I would like to come at the College of Europe to deliver an inspirational speech for the students and audiences, then probably I would say, yes, I'd love to do that, but also I would think, how the hell in the world am I going to do that? So if you really think about that, it took me quite some 10 years to get here where I am and to talk in front of you. But during this way, I was working on that and I was making little progress. But never be afraid to change stuff, and never be afraid to try things out. Even if you fail, you don't fail, but actually you learn. So keep that in mind. You are made a winner, not born one. Do you really think that the most successful people are the luckiest ones? Because I believe that we share the same luxuries of being alive, of being in this world, of having food, and of having a shelter to call home, and so on and so forth. So no matter how poor or rich you were born, you have to know that you can change that. And you can really change that if you believe in yourself, and if you believe that you have the power to bring a change for your life and for the lives of other people that are surrounding you. Grab opportunities with both hands. Whenever somebody will offer you an opportunity to do something, don't say no, just say yes, because any opportunity that is being offered to you means that people are trusting you, and it means also that it's an opportunity for yourself to realize your dreams and to get closer to your dreams and to do what you want to do. So never say no, because experience is much more valuable than money, and if you have the right experience, then probably one day you can master your skills, and one day you can be an expert in the field or in the things that you want to do. Determination will get you anywhere. So at certain points you have to make decisions in life, and sometimes you also have to go against the flow. So you have to make decisions about the things that you feel that are right for you, even if other people around you, they don't believe in what you're deciding. But if you are determined in the things that you want to do, you will one day arrive where you want to get. Because with determination, even if you may fall down, no matter what, you will still stand up. Think about that. At the end of the day, a shark has to move forward in order to be alive. And I think that human beings are not different to that. The past is not your future. It's true that some people are born with more advantages and others are born with more disadvantages, but that should not be a hurdle to your own perspective. There's a lot of things that have happened to your life and that happens to the life of each person on planet Earth, that they have an influence on who you are, who you have become, and the way you think, and so on and so forth. But You should never let your sad memories, your heartbreaks or losses or negative images that you might have in your brain to influence the way that you think, but rather you should use that in a way to transform that in a positive energy for thinking positively and for making you stronger to moving on to the next chapters of your life. Failure is not trying. Well, the fear of failure is quite powerful. So at certain points of our lives, we are all afraid of trying out something because we might fail. It's even more fearful to face the fact that we have tried something and we have not succeeded at all, to accept that to ourselves and even to share that with other people. But if I would ask you right now, do you have any kind of regrets in your life? What would your answers be? Well, I think that probably you would be more regretful for the things that you did not try out in life rather than things that you tried out and they didn't work. So no matter what, just face your fears and try things out. It's better to try things out and fail rather than just not trying anything at all. So face your fears, fail, learn, grow up, get up and learn again. This is a process and this is how it goes. You are not alone. Your successes and your failures are not your own personal accomplishments or achievements, because every great successful story that you might hear does not come by a single person. There's a lot of other people that support you and that have supported you along your journey to reach so far. So you have to, first of all, remember who these people who helped you out are and not forget about that, because in an ideal world you would expect everybody to help you out, find your path in life or the things that you want to do, but that is not going to happen. That there's a few people that would really trust in you. And second of all, remember the fact that you have to help other people, because you are where you are because others have helped you out. And it's in human nature to be interconnected and interdependent. So it's quite important to share this humanity and this value of collaboration with other people. But no matter what, if I look at this beautiful room right now, you are still, I guess, the majority of you is studying at the College of Europe, and no matter the thousands of differences that you have amongst each other, there's still one thing in common, which is that you are studying here at the College of Europe. But at the end of your studies, each of you is going to follow its unique journey, because you are unique. And you have your own unique path. So no matter what happens, then you have to still stick to your own values and your own beliefs, and you have to live your own journey according to your own expectations, not somebody else's expectations. Don't forget that, and remember to live your journey your own way, your unique way. Oops, sorry. I think I went a bit. Yes, own what you do. Either if it's sending an email or writing an article for a conference or editing a paper or speaking in front of an audience, just be good at what you're doing, because whatever you will do in life will tell a lot about who you are, about your skills, but also a lot about your potential, where you could get from there. So be an expert in everything that you're doing. Take action. Well, I want you to remember quite well that no matter what your goals or your objectives are, you should write them down, put them in a piece of paper and stick them in the wall where you can clearly see them. What is it that you want to achieve with your life? What is it that you want to do? What do you want to get out of your studies? What do you want to get out of your work? What do you want to get out of your life? Is it that everything that you're doing, is it because of money? Is it for recognition, for appreciation, or admiration, and so on and so forth? Well, I will give you a small piece of advice. Do everything because it's meaningful. Find a meaningful life and do things because you want to get some positive outcomes out of that. Think about it. A year has 365 days. You cannot do everything in one day. But remember, if you could do one little thing each day, this small, if you could accomplish this small thing each day, then at the end of the year you would be each step closer to your dreams and closer to realizing what you want to do in your life and having a larger impact in this world. Remember that. Remember to take action. But at the end of the day, you also have to be realistic about who you are. You're not a Superman and you're not a Superwoman, and don't even try to be so. Remember to take care of yourself, to have a good night's sleep, and to relax, and to be surrounded with people that add your energies and not drag down your energies. So people that energize you, because most of all, it's quite important that in your journey to have people that are true to you and people that will be there for you no matter what successes or failures you might have during different chapters of your life. And moving on to the last advice, everything starts and ends with you. At certain points in your professional or personal life, you have to make choices. You cannot avoid the fact that you have to make choices. And the choices that you will make, they will determine not only your journey further on, but they will determine your attitude towards your journey. Do not be afraid to take action. Only when you believe in yourself, you will be able to accomplish something. Only if you are determined to succeed, you will be able to succeed. And don't do anything that do things your own way. The way to success is not defined. You have to find it and you have to do it your own way. You have to keep believing in yourself and in your dreams. This is your altitude. This is not your attitude. And whenever somebody will tell you something that they don't believe in you or that you don't fit, don't listen to them. If some doors will close in front of your face because people will tell you that you are not as good enough or you don't fit in that place, show them that you do. And now, before to conclude, I told you that I will not tell you anything new. So I told you that I will say things that you already know. I hope that I kept the promise. But since we are at the College of Europe, before leaving, I will not leave without giving my homeworks. So my task to you is to meet with me in 20 years and tell me, what have you done with your life? How have you turned your story into an inspirational one? How have you become the person that you want to become? And further on, how have you helped other people to be empowered and to be better people in life? Thank you very much for listening to me. And remember, always keep a piece of the sun in your hands to warm you up and to warm other people around you up as well. Thank you.